Hi, my name is Laura Holland, and I own a company called Our Earth and Times. We focus on the past, present, and future geological events on the East Coast. Woo! What you just saw right there was our time shifter. Well, what you may know as a time machine. Today we're going to be using it, so come on over. Let's see how it looks. Well, here it is. You actually came here at the perfect time. Today we'll be taking our first trip back 1 billion years ago. Today we're going to be searching for Virginia's geological history and finding the facts. Well, hop on in. To Grenville Orogeny we go. Well, here we are. Whew, it's chilly. During this time, seasonal changes were drastic. You could probably tell by the icicles. Another thing to note about this period of time is that there was almost no vegetation. The only thing present was this dry algae-like organism called lichen. Also, imagine having no animals. Well, that was the case 1 billion years ago. Grenville Orogeny is characterized by the convergent plates of North America and Africa colliding, creating mountains. This collision is one of the events within the formation of the supercontinent, Virginia. Well, we better get on our way. We have a lot to see and not much time to do it. Wow, this is quite a change. I believe right now we're 650 million years away from present day. During this Precambrian time period, divergent plates created rifting and started to sink the Earth's crust. Now, if you look right past those rocks over there, you'll see a volcano. This is a perfect example of the divergent plates allowing basaltic magma to flow over landmass. And guess what? Today in Virginia, you can still sit upon this basalt rock. This volcanic activity made it very dark and dusty, making it hard for almost any organism to survive. Its cloud-filled sky made it very hard for the sun to get through, therefore making it quite chilly. This period of time also begins the opening of the Iapetus Ocean. Well, back to the time shifter. Here we are, 550 million years ago, and I'd say it's much better than 650. This period of time is another instance of the North American plate and an African plate converging with one another. However, by this time, the African plate had split up into 3 large land masses. These included the volcanic island arc, the island of Avalonia, and the African continent. The volcanic island had formed due to a subduction zone in Virginia. Another consequence of this subduction zone was that the Iapetus Ocean began its slow close. Unlike the previous time periods, multicellular organisms became a normal sight, and Virginia had all the characteristics of a tropical climate. Back to the time shifter we go. Well, darn, we came at the worst time. Well, I guess the Tectonic orogeny is known for its harsh precipitation and winds. Anyways, the Tectonic orogeny is when the volcanic island arc collides with North American plates. This event is also characterized as a mountain birthing event. This mountain system is present today in Virginia's Piedmont province. However, the Piedmont region was not the only province being able to be grown. During this time, layers of sandstone and shale together with limestone and shell deposits began forming the coastal and Piedmont landmass. By 390 million years ago, the tectonic mountains will have been eroded and would start to move westward. This eroded sediment would now become the Appalachian Plateau in the Valley and Ridge provinces in Virginia today. Please keep in mind that over these periods, climate and vegetation changed drastically. As seen here, the tectonic orogeny was very humid and had very little trees, however, was covered in grassy vegetation. Come on guys, we've gotta go! Wow, it's so beautiful. Guess you wouldn't really expect this long ago to be this pretty. This very vegetative period is known as the Akkadian orogeny. 150 million years ago, Avalon collided with North America, forming the Akkadian Mountains. However, these mountains soon disappeared when its sediments, shale, sandstone, and limestone, became deposited in the shallow sea to the west, further closing the Iapetus Ocean. Don't you just love hearing the birds tweet? Anyways, moving on to 250 million years ago. Here we are, the Alleghenian orogeny. Whew, is anyone else warm? Well, that's to be expected. This is another mountain-forming event. You could probably guess which two landmasses collided. That's right, North America and once again Africa formed the large Allegheny Mountains. Due to this event, multiple things happened, including the Iapetus Ocean closing completely. I told you it was going to be slow, but it eventually happened. The Iapetus Ocean's closing is also considered an event in the formation of the supercontinent Pangaea. You can also see this collision's effects in the Valley and Ridge province, where its folding is present there. Well, won't you look at that? I think our time shifter landed directly in a coal swamp. Must mean we're pretty close to the collision. Better go then. We don't want to disturb the ground. Guess I should have told the engineers to put some air conditioning in this time shifter. Anyways, here we are, 180 million years ago, the period in which divergent plates causes the opening of the Atlantic Ocean. Throughout this event, Pangaea breaks apart. We scientists call this very, very dry period of time semi-desert-like. Another thing to add is that as the Atlantic Ocean grew, North America formed faults as the crust sunk. I take it back. Maybe some heat. This doesn't seem very stable. We landed right in the water. Whoa! Ah! Hopefully we don't sink. Anyways, here we are, 100,000 years ago. Now you may be asking yourself, there was glaciers back then? Well, yeah, this was a normal sight. From this period of time to present day, glaciation has been used to carve out the landscape and watersheds of Virginia. Although not many glaciers can be seen on Earth today, predictions have been made that another ice age will arrive on Earth in the future. During this time, the Atlantic Ocean begins to widen, and the Alleghenian Mountains form what today's mountains look like in Virginia. Due to glaciers carving out the land, watersheds began draining eastward, large deposits of sediments. These large sediments are still present today in Virginia. This cold and iced-over period of time made it impossible for any plant to grow. Therefore, there was no vegetation whatsoever. This, however, changed 10,000 years ago when the Ice Age ended. Fossils of water mammals have been seen in Virginia today dating back to this time period. Alrighty then. I say we get going because my toes are frozen and we're low on fuel. So come on! Well, here we are, home sweet home. And my toes aren't as frozen anymore. I would just like to thank you for coming along with me on this crazy trip. From volcanoes to glaciers, I'd say the Earth changes quite a bit, and you never know what's expected. So, remember to time travel when you can and dream of the future, because you really don't know what's waiting for you. Bye!